Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hexagon Strategy first issue, which is to write documentation. This includes the project description, the requirements and specification, and the solution approach. From the user point of view, nothing will have changed because this actually has no front-facing interface and is just documentation. However, we can talk about the way that it changes for the developers. This basically had us outline all of the requirements of our documentation, all of the requirements of our project. Through this documentation, we're now actually able to go ahead and begin coding and being able to follow the software engineering guidelines that we created, like our diagrams. So, if we see through the project description that we made, we introduced our project. We talked about exactly what we're planning to do, which is to make a hex-based real-time strategy game with a competent AI that is actually able to defeat a human opponent. In the requirements and specification, we outlined how we're going to do this. We used a UML diagram, outlined use cases. We went through each of the functional requirements that we would need, like having units that can move and attack, having an AI that is able to make its units move and attack you. And we outlined exactly what else we would need, like using the Unreal Engine and C++. We also outline exactly what kind of system specs someone would be expected to have to be able to run this app. And finally, we created the solution approach, and this really outlined our software engineering guidelines for this project. We were actually able to get into the architecture and show exactly what we want to model when we actually create the code. Each of these will be a class, for instance. We actually broke everything into subsystems, like unit movement, unit combat, as two different subsystems, the orders that are always either of movement or a combat, and the AI analysis that's going to be needed. So by using these documents, we as developers will be able to create more effective code, and it will be a lot smoother of a process because we actually have these requirements done. All right, thank you for listening.